Cathy.
Hi, Jen.
Oh boy, you and your dad have both been going through a lot, processing a lot during his time on hospice. And I know that there's a lot on his mind and on your mind, and it's hard to find times of peace. There's a biblical framework passage that Presbyterian Homes has that talks a lot about peace that I was hoping to share with you.
Great.
It is from Philippians 4:4-7, and I'm sure you're familiar with it. Rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. And I think this is a passage that, well, it fits so many different situations in life, but it also fits your dad's situation as he's nearing the end of life and your situation as you're journeying with him. So I have found that breaking it down a little bit is helpful. So if you don't mind, I'll do that.
Great idea.
All right. So do not be anxious about anything. Wow. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Right.
That's a really tall order for humans. But luckily, God created us, and he knows that our minds are susceptible to fear and to worry and to trying to jump too far ahead and wonder what the future will bring. But where the Spirit of the Lord is, there's so much freedom. And that freedom can help us to overcome those concerns and anxieties. So by inviting God into our hearts and minds each day, we can practice that peace that will quiet our worry.
And I've found with hospice care for my dad, gaining that peace is a big part of not trying to control the uncontrollable. And it's hard when you're in the midst of it to remember that. And for myself and for my father, hospice has been so helpful in that regard to kind of bring us back to center and focus on the God peace part.
Good.
So thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
The next piece says, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And you certainly always express gratitude as your dad does. This invites us to pray about everything, to tell God what we need, and then to thank him for all that he's done in our lives. And God doesn't really expect us to find a life that's just free from worry on our own. We can't do it. He gives us what we need to do so. And that's through talking with him. And when we communicate with God through regular prayer, we can cast our burdens on him. And then we no longer need to carry and stagger under that heavy load that he never intended for us to bear. The Bible also provides just so many examples of Jesus stepping away from the crowd, stepping away from the disciples to just kind of have time alone to communicate with his Father. And his life was far from easy, and he recognized that he couldn't do it on his own. He needed to find strength and peace, and he did that through spending time in prayer, and we too can find that peace through time in prayer. And the next part, you will then experience the peace of God, which transcends all understanding. It's a peace that fully just covers us from head to toe, that provides our souls with undeniable stability. And regardless of our circumstances, assures us of God's love and faithfulness. And then the last part, his peace will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. And I think as we abide in God and we take steps in our faith and trust that God is working, we can experience more and more of his peace all the time, regardless of our circumstances. He'll dwell in us, and he'll guard our hearts and minds in Jesus Christ.
And I agree wholeheartedly. And again, through hospice, it has helped our family immensely to be centered on the moment and to know that not only does hospice have our backs and my dad's, but God does, and to remind us of that. So we're very, very grateful and thank you.
Thank you.